Damian Lillard has finally found a new home. What is going on? This is your boy Jordan JC, and I'm back again on the ATS Report. And boy, oh boy, we got a good one here for today. Three-team trade. You knew it was going to happen eventually, and it did. Three-team trade. Adrian Wojnarowski reports the Portland Trailblazers have traded Damian Lillard, not to the Miami Heat, but to the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's talk about it. So the three-team trade breaks down as this. Portland Trailblazers trade Damian Lillard to play alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo. They receive him in the trade. The Milwaukee Bucks do. And then Portland receives Jrue Holiday, Deandre Ayton from the Phoenix Suns, Toumani Camara, Milwaukee's 2029 unprotected first-round draft pick, and unprotected Milwaukee swap rights in 2028 and 2030. And then the Suns receive Jusef Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, and Keon Johnson as part of that trade package. And so today we're going to talk about who actually won this trade and why. Now, for obvious reasons, we know we're going to address Milwaukee first. Obviously, Milwaukee won this trade by getting the superstar that they wanted at the point guard position in Damian Lillard. Now, obviously, that's not to say that Jrue Holiday wasn't a pivotal piece in getting them to the championship and winning a few years back. But Damian Lillard is the superstar that they need now. And they obviously won the trade because now you have them as a powerhouse in the East to go up against the likes of Miami and a Boston. I put them at the top of the top now, that number one team that everybody is going to be vying and coming for that championship pedigree, that contention out of the East. I see them, I see Miami, and honestly, I see Boston as the three kind of like monsters of the East that are going to be duking it out for that hierarchy in the East. But this team is loaded now. So the starting lineup potentially is going to be Damian Lillard, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Bobby Portis, and Brook Lopez. That's nasty, folks. That is nasty. Now, I'm not sure how the bench is going to fare, but if you're talking about a starting five, that's as good as it gets in the league, just about. Of course, we know there's some other good teams out in the West as well, but in the East, that's as good as it gets. You have offense and defense. You have length. You have everything. Paint scoring, three-point shooting. You got it all in that starting lineup. And so we're going to see if they can kind of congeal together quickly because we know sometimes when super teams get together, a la Miami Heat or even the Boston Celtics with KG and Paul Pierce and Ray Allen, it kind of took a little time for them to kind of get together, right? They had to kind of piece things together and figure out who was going to be the guy that took the last shot. So that's probably the only thing that I can see as an issue in the beginning is Giannis going to be the guy that's going to be that last shot taker, last second shot taker, or will he defer to Damian Lillard, who's known for those crazy making shots? Like he's known for that. He can take it from anywhere on the court. Giannis is more of a drive and kick or drive to the basket type of player. And so I personally think that dynamic is going to work because both of them bring different skill sets as superstars to the table. So it's just going to be mind-blowing how that's going to play out. And I'm sure it's going to be exciting basketball to watch. Now let's address Portland. Obviously, Portland is in a rebuilding phase. They just got Scoot Henderson. They have a lot of young pieces. And so Jrue Holiday going there right now is something that I think they're going to address very quickly. Reports are already coming out that they want to try and see if there's a partner out there that's going to trade for the savvy vet. And whoever gets him, obviously, is going to get a good upgrade at point guard. There's rumblings that even Chicago is involved, Philly, Boston. And so we don't know if Portland is really going to be committing to Jrue. It looks as if they're not. They're really going to try to commit into this full rebuild of these young players. Even though Jrue, I think, would be a good mentor for their team, they already have Scoot and Anthony Simons. So they kind of have that guard position kind of solidified from a young talent standpoint. And I think that's the direction that they want to go and then get even more draft capital or younger players in return. And so we'll see how that turns out. Now, DeAndre Ayton also going back to Portland is a nice piece as well. I'm not sure if they're going to be holding on to him, but he's a good anchor in the paint for them. At the center position, I think that he'll be utilized very well now that Jusef Nurkic is gone and Jusef is going to the Suns to replace kind of DeAndre and what he was doing. And so I think Portland from committing to a rebuild perspective won this trade as well. Obviously, we know Milwaukee won, but I think Portland won from an aspect of not necessarily winning immediately, but the rebuilding phase. They're doing it correctly. They're getting the people that they want on their team, and they're fully committing to it. And so I think that's a W for them. Now the Suns, then that's neither here nor there because they already have a super team in what they already got over this offseason. And so adding to that Jusef Nurkic, I think that's a W for them as well on the back end of this trade because they needed somebody to replace Ayton. And I think Jusef Nurkic, if staying healthy, will be a good piece to add to that already crazy lineup of Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and KD. That's just going to be insanity as well. So this is going to be a good year, a fun year of basketball. It's just going to be crazy how many fun teams we see. Of course, we have the Warriors as well. But in this trade, I think ultimately on top, you have the Milwaukee Bucks, of course, that have won the trade from a winning perspective because now they are legit championship contenders, not just playoff contenders, championship contenders out of the East, and whoever's going to compete against them against the West. For all my marbles, I think Milwaukee is going to get to the finals. That's just what I'm calling right now, folks. Portland, from a rebuild perspective, won this trade, right? Because now you're committing again, like I said, to the young people and the young folks on this team. Scoot, I think it's going to be almost like a split image of Damian Lillard when he kind of gets into his own and becomes a star in this league. That's his trajectory. Then, of course, Anthony Simons as well. So they got a lot of really good pieces that they can kind of get this thing going on in a few years. And then, of course, you have Phoenix Suns who are already in a position to be championship contenders with that three-headed monster of a beast over there. And so adding Jusef and Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, I think those are good depth pieces for the rotation and for the bench. However, how are they going to use them? And so we're just going to see how this all plays out. I don't think there's any losers in this trade. All good for all reasons for each team that was involved. And so, again, hey, how do you all feel about that? Do you think that every team kind of pretty much got what they wanted? Of course, we'll kind of get into the whole Jrue Holiday news and rumors about that in another video. I'll bring that up again. But I think that everybody took a W. Nobody took an L on this. How do you guys feel about that? Do you think that this will be a fun season to watch coming up? Do you think the Milwaukee Bucks will actually be the favorites to come out of the East? It's looking like it. They look pretty darn good. Let me know how you feel in the comments below. And again, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next ATS Report.